How you doing, everyone? This is Jordan Morris, aka Vertsmoke, here with Cowboy Charcoal, and today we're going to be smoking a sirloin roast. So this is a perfect meal for that special someone in your life if you want to have a romantic dinner. So we're going to smoke this at 250 degrees until we reach an internal temperature of about 120 degrees, and then we'll crank off the heat and sear it until we get that crispy exterior. So today we're going to be using the Cowboy Charcoal hardwood briquettes. This is the garlic and onion mix. It goes great with beef. So the smoker's already set up. I have the charcoal in the grill, and I'm just going to set my temperature here to 250 degrees. And there we go. All right, so to season this beef, I'm going to start with just a little bit of some neutral flavored oil. What I have here is avocado oil. You can use any neutral oil you like. Avocado, grapeseed, your choice. The point here is just to add a little bit of moisture to the exterior of the meat, just so the spices will bind on there a little better. Doesn't add any flavor. We just want it so it can stick on there a little bit better. Today I'll be using this Jack Daniel's steak seasoning. Obviously goes with steak. It's going to go great with this roast. So season it liberally because you want all that flavor on there. Obviously you want to hit this fat cap really well because as the fat renders, it's going to drip down the meat, and season it the whole way through. Do not forget your sides here. Make sure you get every square inch. It may seem like a lot of seasoning, but I'm telling you, this is a big piece of meat. You want to have it on every single bite, so be sure to be thorough with it. Make sure you get it nice and coated. So now that it's seasoned, we'll just throw it in the smoker. There we go. Like I said, 250 degrees on the grill. We'll cook it until the internal temperature hits 120, and then we'll pull it out. So our sirloin roast has reached the internal temperature of 120 degrees. So I'm going to pull it out of the smoker to let it rest for now. So I'm just going to grab it, and there it is. Look at all the smoke and flavor that's collected so far. It's going to be delicious. So what we're going to do for now is wrap it in some foil, just so while we crank up the grill, it doesn't lose all of its heat. So that's wrapped, rested, it'll wait for a minute. So I cranked this grill up to 550 degrees. If you were doing this on a different grill at home, you would do that on the indirect heat side for now, and then when it's time to sear it off, you could put it over the direct grill just to finish it off. So like I mentioned, I'm using the Cowboy Charcoal hardwood briquettes, the onion and garlic. I wish you guys could smell it right now. It smells so good. I can tell right away without tasting it, it's gonna be delicious. You really need to try these, especially the next time you're cooking beef. You'll love it. Okay, so our grill has reached 550 degrees. So I'm just gonna unwrap this. It's just been resting in the foil while my grill preheats. So let's go ahead and throw this in the grill. Oh, you hear that sizzle? That means the grill is ready. So we're gonna leave it in here for about 5-10 minutes, check back, see how it's looking. Let's close the lid. Okay, so it's been about 7 minutes, so I'm gonna probe it and see if it's the temperature that I like and see if it's ready to take out. Oh, looking good. Oh yeah, it's right where we want it. Perfect medium, medium rare. So I'm gonna use my tongs here to take it out. Oh yeah, look at the color we have on that. This is gonna be delicious. So first what we're gonna do is wrap this up in a little bit of foil just to keep it warm. And don't worry, this will stay warm for a long time. It's a big piece of meat. It will retain its heat for a long time. Don't worry, it's not gonna get cold. Now, while we rest this, we're gonna make our red wine reduction sauce. So first things first, I have to saute these shallots in the pan. So what I'll do is preheat the pan in the grill, and once it's ready, I'll get the shallots in there. So let's throw it on the grill to let it preheat. So I'm gonna just take my pan here. I'm gonna take just a touch of oil right here. Again, just the same neutral oil that I used for the beef. And what I have here is 1/2 of a shallot, just diced up finely. I'm just gonna throw it in there, mix it around a little bit, and just let it start to cook while it's in the grill. So put that back on and let that cook for about 3 or 4 minutes, check back. So there we go, these are looking super nice. So next thing, star of the show, some red wine. So we just take this red wine and we just dump it right in there. And then we add a little bit of beef broth. There you go. So what I have in here, this was a 1/2 cup of red wine, maybe 3/4 cup, and then also about a 1/2 cup of beef broth. So now it's time to let it reduce. And last but not least, I'm just gonna throw in a sprig of rosemary. I'm not gonna chop it up or anything. I'm gonna throw it in there whole, just so it starts to release some of that flavor in the sauce. And we'll just let it go on the grill. So close the lid again on this, check back in about 5-10 minutes, see how it's looking, see how it's reduced. When I'm cooking a sauce like this, I want it to reduce by about half. So keep an eye on where the level is, and when you check back, just see how much lower it is. If it's gone down a little more, that's all right, you can add some more liquid. But let's check and see how it's doing in about 5 minutes. Okay, so the sauce has been on here for actually about 7 minutes. I said 5, it took a little bit longer. It's been 7 minutes, but it's ready now. So it's reduced by half. So if you look at it here, it's just sizzling away. You hear that? Oh boy, that's great. So the next step here is to whisk in a little bit of butter. So first I'm just gonna remove the rosemary just for ease of use here. We'll just pull that out, set it aside. So you want to do this with the sauce off the heat because it helps for the butter to emulsify a little bit easier when you have the sauce like this. Also, you want your butter to be cold. So starting with about a tablespoon of butter, I'm just going to throw it right in and just whisk away. So it requires a little bit of patience, but it's worth it. Because as you whisk, the butter is going to start to emulsify in that sauce, and it'll just become thick and buttery and delicious. And this is just kind of by eye. So I started with 1 tablespoon. I'll probably end up with about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons worth of butter, just depending on how it's looking. So this is looking pretty good right there. I'm gonna hedge my bet and add just a little more butter, just so I can get it a little bit thicker and a little more buttery. Because again, remember, we used a sirloin roast, which is not quite as fatty as a ribeye roast. So this extra fat that we have in the butter and the extra flavor, it goes a long way. Okay, I think we're there. So you can kind of see. You can see just how viscous the sauce is. It's not at all like a gravy. It's not thick like that, but it has just enough body to it where it's a little thicker. So we are there. So for now, we're just gonna set this aside and then we'll look at our beef. Okay, so we made our sauce. The beef has been resting. It's ready to slice up. So let's take it out of the foil and see how it looks. Oh yeah, that looks good. And don't forget those juices. If you don't pour the accumulated juices over your beef, that's criminal. All right, so first we need to cut off these butcher strings. And this came from the butcher just like this. I didn't have to do any of it. I'm sure if you go see your butcher and ask him for a sirloin roast that's been rolled and trimmed, you can get one just like this. Makes it really easy, really nice to cook whole. So we take these off. Okay, the moment of truth. Here's our sirloin roast. Let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, I think that we absolutely nailed it. So you can cook this to whatever temperature you like. You can slice it as thick or as thin as you like. It's up to you, however you want it. I'm doing pretty thin like this, just kind of my preference, you know, do it however you wish. So here we have our beautiful sirloin roast. We cooked it low and slow until the desired internal temperature that you like. We went to 120. Then we cranked up the heat and we seared it off to get that crispy, crusty exterior edge. Now we sliced it. We have our red wine reduction sauce right here. And I'm just gonna put a ladle right over the top of the meat. Just like that. So all those little chunks of shallots, are just complete flavor bombs. We had the rosemary in there, and this is ready to go. Let's give it a try. I'm gonna take a little piece here, just slice, see how it tastes. Looks good. Oh yeah, you want that. Next time you're gonna do prime rib, do this instead. You'll like it better. Like and subscribe for more. Go to cowboycharcoal.com for all the recipes you see. I'm Jordan Morris. Thanks for watching. Keep cooking with Cowboy. See you next time.